Hi everyone, welcome to this training program on power cables. I am J.N. Karamchetty, a graduate in electrical engineering from JNTU, College of Engineering, Kakinada. I have done my MTech in electrical engineering from IIT Kharagpur. I have done a diploma in business and finance from ICFA Hyderabad. I am a certified energy auditor from BAE, Ministry of Power, and a master trainer in solar rooftop grid engineer from NISC of MNRE. I have industrial experience from development engineer to chief executive officer in private limited companies, multinational companies for about 37 years. I have also experience in teaching and training of engineers and executives at the Engineering Staff College of India, Hyderabad for about 10 years. The objectives of modules developed is the author is a qualified and experienced in electrical engineering, power electronics, energy conservation and auditing, design and implementation of solar photovoltaic power plants, to share his theoretical and practical knowledge with engineering professionals to improve their skills and in turn to develop India. What is a power cable? Power cable is an electrical cable, an assembly of one or more of electrical conductors, usually held together with an overall sheath. The assembly is used for transmission and distribution of electrical power. Power cables may be installed as a permanent wiring within the building, buried in the ground, run overhead, or exposed. Construction of a cable. The following figure shows various items in that. One is a conductor, another is a lead sheet, paper insulation between them, and there is a filling material, and there is a bedding material, and there is an armor, and there is a serving. Serving is also called outer sheath. Now, bedding, armoring, and serving are only applied to the cables for protection of the cable insulation and to protect the metallic sheet from mechanical injuries. Construction of a cable. Cable or core or a conductor. A three-core cable has a three conductors as shown in figures. These conductors are made of a copper or aluminum and usually stranded to make the cable flexible. To continuously carry rated current and short circuit current for the specified duration without overheating and the voltage drop to be within the prescribed limits. Now let us see the conductor and conductor, or what we are calling as a core, shall be of. It can be copper or aluminum. It can be a solid or a stranded. It can be circular, within the circular, concentric stranded, or compact stranded, or sector or segmental shape, any one of the shapes. The sector and the segmental conductors are used in place of a circular concentrating stranded conductor to reduce the cable diameter by around 20 to 25% and thus achieve savings in the other materials used, thereby reducing the overall cost of the cable to the customer. Conductor screen. Cable rated above 3.3 have a screening of semiconducting tape semiconducting compound for uniform distribution of stresses in the conductor and also to make more surface smoother over which the insulation is extruded. Insulation. Each core or the conductor is covered by a suitable thickness of an insulation material. The thickness of the layer of the insulation depends upon the voltage rating of the cable. Materials used for insulation shall have a good dielectric strength, proper thickness, and shall be suitable for operating at an optimum voltage continuously with high degree of stability, reliability, and safety. Inner sheath. In order to protect the cable from the moisture, gases, harmful liquids in the soil and atmosphere, a metallic sheet known as an inner sheath of a lead and a lead alloy or aluminum tape is provided over the insulation. Bedding. In order to protect the metallic sheet from corrosion and mechanical injury due to the armor, a protective layer of the material like a jute or a Heisen tape or is provided over the inner sheet. This layer is known as a bedding. This layer may be absent in some cables. Armoring. Over the bedding, armoring is provided to protect the cable from the mechanical injury. Armoring usually consisting of one or two layers of a galvanized steel wire, steel tape. This layer may be omitted in some cables to avoid excessive sheath losses. Outer sheath. The last layer above the armoring is the outer sheath. This layer protects the armor from atmospheric conditions. Other materials shall have a good mechanical and physical properties to ensure a longer life. Materials used for finishing shall have a good mechanical, chemical properties to prevent the damage and also to suit environmental conditions. Classification of the cable. Cables are classified in different ways. All of the different methods is being explained. Cables for underground service may be classified into two ways. The type of insulation material used on the cable, the voltage class for which it is used. However, the latter method of a classification is generally preferred, according to which cables can be divided into the following groups. Low tension, that is LT cables up to 1000 volts, HT cables up to 11,000 volts, super tension cables 22 to 33 kV cables, and extra high voltage cable is a 33 to 66. Extra super voltage cables will be beyond 132 kV. Nowadays, cables are available up to 500 kV. And classification are also classified based on the application. Now, power cables, control cables, communication cables, special purpose cables like mining cable, submarine cable, and welding cable. This FR, LS, LH cables will be coming into the way, and these are all for the fire resistance material. Now, classification of cables are classified based on laying, underground cables, aerial bunched cable. Under the aerial bunched cable, we have a LT standard aluminum conductor, HDP insulated, twisted over bare standard AAA conductor as a messenger wire. HT standard aluminum conductor, XLPE insulated cables, twisted over XLPE insulated, and AAA standard conductor as a bearing wire. So we have a LT, HT cables also as an aerial bunched cables. Now, cable designation. Now, how do you identify what is the use, what voltage it is? Voltage of the cable is designated as a U0 stroke U in the bracket UM. Now, U0 is the phase to ground voltage. Let us assume in case of a 400 volts, phase to ground voltage is 230 volts. Line to line voltage is 433 volts, and the maximum what it can go is about 450. So that is what U0, UUM. The example you can see, example is 11 kV cable. If you take the first one is 6.36, that is a U0. And next U is 11 kV line to line. And whatever is given in the bracket is a 12 kV is the maximum that the cable can carry, supply can go. Insulation thickness. Now you can see U0, UM, and BIL and thickness of the insulation. As you go down there, you have a 3.8 kV that is equal to 6.6 kV line to line. And next one is 11 kV cable, 15 kV, 20, and 33, whereas the UM will be equivalent to that. Now the insulations you can see from 2.5 to 3.2 millimeters, the first one, you are going on increasing the thickness of the cable as the voltage is increasing, because kV for mm is to be considered into these cases, right? Now transmission voltages in India. What are the voltages in India? If you see from the bottom, 33 kV, 66 kV, 110 and 132, 220 and 400, 765, they are called the nominal voltages. Whereas it has got a minimum limit, it has got a maximum limit, right? And nowadays in India, we are going for 1200 kV also. And experiments are already going on by the PGCL for 1200 kV cable, and that is the highest in the world. Selection of cables. Influencing factors. Maximum operating voltage you have to specify. All these are all points required for you, whether you select the cable or indent for a cable, or you want to purchase a cable, or you want to reject a cable. You need all this information. Maximum operating voltage, load or kVA carried. Load can be in kiloamperes, amperes. Short circuit rating, that means how much is the short circuit current for how long before the system is a trips. And mode of installation, is it underground or overhead or buried in the ground? Economics and safety, what is the cost of it, how safe the cable is. For the same conductor size, maximum continuous current carrying capacity depends on the depth of laying, ground temperature, soil thermal resistivity, ambient temperature, proximity of other cables, method of laying, types of ducts used, and the load cycle. Now, insulation, if you see, important characteristics of a good insulating materials are high specific resistance, high dielectric strength, tough and flexible, non-hygroscopic, should have a low thermal resistance, should withstand high temperatures with least deterioration, non-flammable, could not be attacked by acids or alkalis, capability to withstand high rupturing voltages. Now we know that PVC cable is there, it's called a polyvinyl chloride. It is a thermoplastic synthetic compound. It is generally used to insulate the cables. It has a good dielectric strength of the order of 17 kV per millimeter, and maximum continuous temperature is 75 degrees centigrade. Now the PVC cables can be bent to smaller radii, which make them particularly suitable for laying in industrial places. It has a high electrical resistivity, good electrical strength, mechanical toughness over a wide range of temperatures. Same thing, it is a non-hygroscopic. Hygroscopic means it absorbs the moisture. Non-hygroscopic means it should not absorb the moisture. It is a non-hygroscopic, is not affected by acids, alkalis due to high dielectric mechanical strength and exceptional resistance to moisture. The PVC cables have been almost completely replaced the paper and the rubber insulated cables in the range up to 11 kV. You can see everywhere the LT cables are PVC cable in India for the last 40 years. Construction features of PVC cable. You can say this in this one, you can see the 4-core cable. You are seeing 3 colors from the outside and one is behind that, and then got an insulation on the conductor, and then a tape is provided, and then the armor and outer sheet. The bottom one seems to be 3 colors. Fourth we are not able to see. Maybe it is only a 3-core cable. Impregnated paper. Paper is a very good and a cheap insulating material, but it is a hygroscopic in nature. That means it absorbs the moisture, due to which the insulation properties get destroyed due to ingress of moisture. To resolve this problem, it is impregnated with some compounds such as a paraffinic and a naphthalenic materials. Always be kept sealed to them moisture tight. Impregnated paper. Moisture can also be entered through the small pinholes and the cracks in the sheeting, which may not be visible to the naked eye. Therefore, these cables are invariably metal sheath to provide a protection against the ingress of moisture. It has the high dielectric strength, 40 to 50 kV millimeters per millimeter, and a continuous temperature rating of 80 degrees centigrade. It is used in high voltage power cable manufacturing, this impregnated paper. Now, cross-linked polyethylene. The cable using the cross-linked polyethylene is the insulating material is known as an XLPE. It has a high dielectric strength, 20 to 40 kV per millimeter, and continuous operating temperature rating of 90 degrees Celsius. The previous one we have seen is a 70 degrees. It is a non-flammable, light in weight, flexible mechanical strength, and a moisture absorption resistant, and have extremely high melting point. All the required characteristics have been shown here or there in the XLPE cable. These cables are directly laid on the soil bed, are used for voltages up to 33 kV. Polyethylene is synthetic plastic resin and is a very good dielectric and withstands long aging. Ordinary polyethylene has a linear molecular structure and it is converted into a chemical process into bonding structure. The process is called cross-linking. Cross-linked polyethylene. This cross-linked polyethylene has a good electrical, mechanical properties, and at the same time, lighter in weight. It offers flexibility for any route profile. It can carry more current compared to the other type of insulating materials and has a better thermal stability. The XLPE insulation is widely used even for EHV cable. Now, constructional features of XLP cable, you can notice that you have a conductor here, and the conductor screen is the second one, and then the insulation material, and this is the insulation screen. Copper tape is there after that, and the inner sheet and armoring, and the outer sheet is coming into this. Now, XLPE insulation cable is HV and EHV. Now, the same thing we are seeing in another direction. This is the conductor. This is the conductor screen on top of conductor. Then comes the XLPE insulation and insulation screen, semi-conducting tape, corrugated and seamless, and aluminum sheet, and then PE or PVC outer sheet as the case may be. XLPE cable, you all should go through these figures, whatever is given 2 to 3 times, and remember what is there from conductor to the last one in the order, same order, because this will be useful to you throughout your service in electrical engineering. And end of presentation. Thank you very much to all of you for the patient hearing. Thank you.